Hello, good evening, folks. How you doing today? How was your day?
Good evening, teacher.
Okay, folks, welcome to this session, folks. In this one, we're gonna discuss and we're gonna analyze some ethical principles like beneficence, autonomy, justice, and responsibility. Okay. The objectives that we got for this session for are to identify the fundamental principles of professional ethics through real life scenarios, analyze professional situations using ethical reasoning and appropriate terminology, and the last one to apply ethical principles to propose responsible and fair solutions to professional dilemmas. Okay. So here we got a little introduction that I would like to ask for you to one volunteer for reading this, please. Do we have any? Okay, Kevin, go ahead.
Professional ethics plays a fundamental role in guiding the behavior and decision of individuals in any profession. Ethical principles help professionals act responsibly, respect others, and contribute positively to society. In this session, we will explore four essential ethical principles that guide professional conduct: beneficence, autonomy, justice, and responsibility. Understanding this concept allows professionals to make informed decisions, resolve ethical dilemmas, and maintain trust in their professional relationships.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. As you can notice here, folks, it's something that we have been discussing from the first session, right? About professional ethics, and we have said that this is related to the behavior and decisions that every individuals, that every profession have, right? And we have been discussing about some dilemmas, right? Some paradigms in ethics and some principles. And as I mentioned at the beginning, today we got some of the principles that we're gonna discuss that I'm pretty sure that you got some knowledge about them. And then we got some scenarios, okay, that you're going to reflect on that and provide your own personal opinion, okay? So, as you know, folks, and as usually in every virtual session, I like to start with a speaking question. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to analyze for analyzing those questions, and then provide your opinion. What do you think about these ones, right? Yes, Jose Miranda, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, teacher. About the first one, I think it's something we see every day, especially in
At
in the
work
um
or at
yeah, at work.
university?
At work or school.
Both,
Um
right?
yeah, there's something called conflict of interest, and
Mm-hmm.
it is when people benefit someone over the rest of the team because they're friends or family. So that's something we see too often in the workplace or school. Or on the other um, end, right? People who gets treated unfairly
Mm-hmm.
because, yeah, because you know, they're not, they're not being appreciated.
Yeah. And Jose Miranda, based on the educational area, have you ever seen some of your peers cheating on tests? Have you ever talked to the teacher about that one?
No, no, never seen that. I have been asked for uh, answers to questions, but not
Not cheating
given.
on tests, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
mhm, okay, good. And what happened if someday would you see that? Would you talk to the teacher?
You know, I just ignore when that
Mm-hmm.
happens. Like I'm not seeing it. Um, so that will save the uncomfortable moment of having to tell on people. So it's just better not to
Yeah.
just ignore like you didn't see it.
Yeah, because they are betraying themselves, right?
Yeah, I guess in my opinion, look, I'm gonna be honest, teacher. It's just one question in a test will not make a huge difference. And
Yeah.
along the way, you always have the opportunity to change and be the better person.
Yeah.
So cheating today does not mean that you'll be a bad professional as long as you realize and change, right? So I will
Yeah.
not judge my classmates on small decisions. I'm hoping that in the future, whoever does it stops
Mm-hmm.
doing it.
Yeah.
But doing it today in a question, in a test, is not gonna define his or her whole life.
So what happened? You said that you prefer to ignore that situation, but what happened at the end of the course if you noticed, if you realized that that person, that classmate who was cheating on the test got a really good higher score than you? Would you claim to the teacher that?
I've never seen that situation. Never seen a classmate cheating who has a really high grade. Perhaps I will notice it if I'm paying too much attention to other people's scores.
Mm-hmm.
But typically, I don't realize because I don't know other scores. I will have to check your paper to see which
Okay.
student has higher score.
Okay, really appreciate your participation. Let's see the question number two, folks. Why is trust important in professional relationship? What do you think? Kaylin Torres, Rosa Vanegas, Patricia Perez, Milder, Genesis, go ahead.
Okay, teacher, good evening. In my
Evening.
opinion, I consider the trust is really important because, as you know, it helps us. It helps in the work to, it helps in our job to work effectively.
Mhm.
And when there is trust, the communication is better and we can feel confident sharing ideas and responsibilities. So for me, that is the importance of trust.
Okay, okay, thank you. What about the question number three, folks? Do professionals always have a responsibility to help others? Milder, go ahead.
Uh, Evening. I
Evening.
think professionals have a responsibility to help others because their work can affect people's lives, and helping others show the respect and responsibility. I think that
Okay, thank you. Noel, what about you? The same question. Or Marcus?
I don't think rules are.
Noel is not here. Okay, let's move on to question number four. Do you think rules are enough to ensure ethical behaviors? Why or why not? Or do you think that there are some others aspects that we need to take into considerations, like the values, folks, the values that we have been discussing in the previous sessions, like integrity, like as you mentioned before, responsibility. What do you think? Kaylin Torres. Okay, Milder, go ahead.
The number four.
Yeah.
Bueno, I don't think rules are always no, uh, because people also need good values, hope,
Values.
hope, values, professionals' responsibility to behave ethically,
Ethically.
ethically, and only.
Okay, good. Patricia Perez, what do you think?
I don't think rules always enough because people also need good values.
Mm-hmm.
Values.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I think that when it comes to rules, and I'm sorry, it's my dog.
Marcos, go ahead.
Okay, for me, teacher, I think that rules are important, but they are not always enough because maybe there's
Mm-hmm.
something like I don't know how to I can say in English, but vacío legal. So people also need like strong values
Yeah.
to make the right decisions.
Yeah, good. Adriana.
I consider that rules can guide people on why they should or should not, but they are not enough to ensure ethical behavior because individuals also need to truly have
Mm-hmm.
the value. But I think at the same time, they act, it's like a balance between
Mm-hmm.
following the rules and practice the values. So working together, they create a more trustworthy environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. What about the question number five, folks? What is more important for you, following rules or doing what is morally right?
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Um, in my opinion, teacher and guys, I think that it's more important that you do your best, but it's question number five, right?
Yes.
Hello. Okay, for me, it's more important that you are do the morally right because maybe in your work exists some rules that you have to follow, but it's not better because you are or you have values that you want to do or that you want to follow in your life. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to follow the rules, maybe you can get your job. But if you follow your values, you can be a better person because you are following your heart and you're thinking about it.
Okay, okay, thank you. Adriana, you raised again your hands. Would you like to add something else to that question or?
In my opinion, doing what is morally right can sometimes be more important than simply following rules because, yeah, rules are necessary. The
Mm-hmm.
organized society guides people's behavior, but sometimes are not always perfect and
Yeah.
like they may be unfair if fail to consider certain situations.
Yeah. Okay, good. Junaisha,
I
hello.
well, in my opinion, it's morally right. It's more important because sometimes might not cover every situation and help and people need to make a decision based on their values or acting ethically helps and respect in society.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to question number 6. Should professional always respect a person's decision, even if they think it is wrong?
Absolutely, teacher. I think that if you are professional, you
Mm-hmm.
have to respect the other opinion of the other person
Could I
because
have it? Mhm. Yeah, continue.
because if you have your point, your view about whatever topic or whatever situation in your job, maybe other person can think the other way. But if you
Mm-hmm.
are a professional, you have to respect the other opinion, share all the opinion in your group, and maybe at the end you can take a better decision if you hear the other opinion. But you have to respect to other person.
Yeah. Oviedo Blandon, right?
Yep, Alicia.
Okay, thank you. Gerardo, go ahead.
Yep. So I would say that we always have to respect other people' opinions, but there are some times where, for example, they are, of course, as the question says, wrong, and this is something that can affect themselves or other people. Um, for example, if you're let's say, a nutritionist or a doctor, and your patient says that Coca-Cola is the best thing in the world and it will not affect their health, and you should, um, I mean, respect their opinion, but say that this is not correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to respect even if we don't agree, right?
Right.
Daphne.
So answering question number 6, I go along with what my classmates are saying. We always need to respect what, let's say, for example, a client is asking for. We can
Mm-hmm.
professionally provide advice. We can give them options of what we know that is good for them. But
Mm-hmm.
if they close down and they say no, they want this and they need it that way, we just respectfully go ahead and do it for them after we give them an advice already, because they're gonna have something to prove that we're gonna have something to prove that we advised them before they did something that was gonna like flash back on them.
Okay, good. Kaylin, it's your turn.
Yeah, teacher, I just want to add something. I think as visual professionals, we should respect personal decision.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to be concerned that people have the right to make choices about their own life.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that is that is autonomy to have autonomy. So
Yeah,
I
some of
just
the
wanted
principles, right?
to add that to the question.
Okay, really good. Adriana?
As I see it, I think it depends on the situation and on what the decision involves. For example, if the decision only affects the person,
Mm-hmm.
professional perspective, even if they disagree. But if the decision could harm other people, the professional may have a responsibility to intervene. or change actions. So in those cases, protecting the majority, I think, becomes more important than simply respecting the decision.
Okay, okay, thank you. Now let's move on to the last question. Why do societies expect professionals to behave ethically? Yeah, Daphne.
Yes, teacher. I say like society expects that professional behave ethically because whenever you're gonna like be a professional learning values, you're gonna be able to treat people, you're gonna be learning how to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like, let's say a doctor, what we expect from a doctor, that they be honest with us, that they be kind, they be
Yeah.
like careful with us. So normally whenever we get someone that doesn't treat someone ethically, we say what type of professional this is or where did he study, where did he come from. But we have
Mm-hmm.
to also focus that whenever you're going to get any kind of ethical behavior to become a professional, the behavior comes before at home with your
Mm-hmm.
family, with your parents. It comes within like each one of us personally. Because if you're not a good person at home with your own family,
Yeah,
we should not expect that you're going to be a good person out there unless you're
definitely.
two-faced. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Cindy Prado, what do you think? Do you agree with her?
Yes, I'm sorry, I was muted. Um, yeah, I definitely agree with her point of view.
Okay, folks. Now let's move on to the principles that I mentioned that I introduced at the beginning of the session. And we said that the topic that we got for today are these principles. These ethical principles that you're seeing on the screen. And we got the first one, beneficence. So what do you understand by this, folks? Do you think that this is related to the duty that every individuals or that every professional have?
Good evening, teacher. I'm
Evening.
Archimedes. Well, in my opinion, is that is for all person, not only for the professional persons. So, because it's important promote value of autonomy, justice, and the responsibility. Because the when we live in the world, we have a community. So in the community, we need to have good behaviors for respect all the persons.
Okay, good. So something important, folks, that we need to take into consideration here, even if we don't put into practice, it's the making decisions, right? And the action taken that most of the time we as a human being or even as professionals we take to help other people, okay? So, and some of the main characteristics that we got for this ethical principle, folks, we got, as you can appreciate, their focuses on promoting the well-being of others, encourages professionals to act in the best interest of clients and society, involves preventing harm and reducing risks, and requires professionals. These ethical principles require professionals to consider the positive impact on their decisions. Yes, Marcos, go ahead.
I have questions, and that will be like, what happened with the people who are not professional? Can they be judged morally for the actions if they never were like educate or inform like about these ethical principles, because I think that professionals are expected to know these rules because like we are trained, right? We are
Mm-hmm.
in the university and we are educated for this. But people who are not professional, maybe it's like different because they didn't learn or they may have not learned these ethical guidelines. So should society or should us judge like everyone with the same ethical standard?
But remember that if you were trained with with the values that we have been discussing before, unconsciously you can act without noticing this, right?
Yeah, right.
And that can and that can happen with persons who are not educated. Remember that being educated doesn't mean to have a major degree on our hands, folks. Being educated is to having really good values, to have a good ways of treating people. Because I don't know if you have seen many professional people that they got different types of major degrees, but they are not educated. Remember that the main form of education starts from home, right? Kaylin, go ahead. Okay, another of the ethical principle, folks, that we got, it's the autonomy, as you mentioned before, some of you. And what do you understand by autonomy, folks? Okay, Kaylin introduced something about this, but what do you think autonomy is? Yes, Kaylin, you're raising your hand. Go ahead.
I can't. No, as I said before, uh, people have the ability to make their own decisions about their life or their life based on their values and based on their beliefs and their preferences. I think the
Hmm.
freedom to choose. That's what I think.
Okay, thank you. And what about justice, folks? What do you understand by justice? Do you think that we got justice all the time? Milder, go ahead. Marcus,
Justice.
yeah, after Marcus.
Okay.
Well, I don't think that we have justice like all the time because, as I mentioned before, sometimes we have like vacíos legales,
Mm-hmm,
and people can take advantage for those. For example, a person who makes a crime can go out early because he has a good lawyer. For example, I know a case that is like an influencer here in Nicaragua. He make a crime. However, now he's free and he's doing like I don't know, like videos. And for me, that's not justice, but they
mm-hmm.
taking advantage for that, like vacío legal.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Justice. Right. Okay. But injustice, I think the justice is very important because it means trying every failure equally, and professionals should make decisions without discrimination and favoritism.
Mm-hmm,
Um, and justice helps create trust and respect because everyone has the same opportunities and rights, derechos.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And what about responsibility, folks? Kaylin, go ahead.
No, sister.
Oh, you raise your hand or not?
No, no.
Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you very
Okay.
much. So remember, folks, that responsibility it's the kind of obligation that we got as professionals, right? To act ethically. Unfortunately, there are plenty, I would dare to say this, plenty of professionals that they don't act ethically, right? But when we talk about responsibility, folks, it means that we need to fulfill our duties, right? We need to accept all of the things, all of the aspects, all of the accountability for our actions and decisions, right? And this one, when we act in this way, folks, we demonstrate the values that we got as integrity, the reliability, and especially the commitment that we got for ethical standards, right? Let me see who raised the hand. Okay. Uh, Now, folks, we got here. I'm gonna divide the session into three breakout rooms. Okay. So each room will have different scenarios, and we got some guided questions there. And the only thing that you have to do is to uh, analyze carefully the scenario, provide your own personal opinion, taking into account the questions that you got there as a guidance. Okay. So that the point is not to answering the questions that you got there because they are working as guidance, as I said before. Okay. Now let's see. And the link of the documents of the Google documents, I'm gonna share through the chat box in each rooms. Okay, here we go. Hola chicos, ¿me escuchan? Hello.
Hello?
Okay,
No, I
please.
believe it closed.
Okay, please check on the chat box. You got the link there, and read carefully the scenarios and try to provide your personal opinion, your personal reflection based on that scenario. Okay, don't forget to jot down your full name, please.
Thank you, teacher. Just requested access. I don't have access.
You don't have it there. Let me check.
Me
Thank
neither.
you.
You already have it, right? No, no, no. Let me check. Try it now. Let me know, please.
Let me
I have
see.
one.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
I'm good now. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm gonna share, folks, the link of the scenario through the chat box, okay? Here in Zoom.
Okay.
Please check if you can log in and try to write your personal reflections about that scenarios, okay? The point is not to answering the question that we got there because they're working as a guidance, okay? So try to analyze carefully such scenarios, right?
Okay.
Okay, it's true. Hi, Cindy. Good night.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, folks?
Yeah.
As I
Yes.
mentioned before, folks, I'm gonna share the link of your scenarios through the chat box. Please read carefully and analyze it, then provide your personal own reflection, okay? So you will see some questions. The idea is not to answering those questions because they are working as a guidance, okay? So that try to read it carefully there and then provide your reflections about it. So you got the link there.
No puedo abrir el chat. LOL.
No access
Yeah,
al
I have I have entered to the platforms.
yeah, the permission is there. Let me know if you can edit, if you can write there.